Hi there folks, Sean Brodrick. I'm here at the Metals Investor Forum 2018 and I'm here with Brandon Macdonald. He's the CEO of Fireweed Zinc and we're going to have a little talk about that company, but first we need to talk about the global market for zinc, base metals in particular. I know that you guys are really interested in things like gold, but you can't overlook base metals, especially zinc. Boy, is that metal on fire. Brandon, could you speak to the viewers and just explain what's going on in that market?
Yeah, sure. So the zinc market has been extremely well performing. So I think in the last 24 to maybe slightly less months, we've seen over a doubling of the zinc price. And that was largely a function of two big mines closing and then a cutback of production from Glencore. And this is not just about a short-term squeeze. Obviously, the shutting of the mines, the big mines, Century and Lachine, without new mines to take their place means there's a long-term structural deficit. And this deficit, I believe, is going to continue for a while. I don't think we see zinc prices like we have in the past ever again. So to have a good zinc project in this market is fantastic.
Okay, so let's talk about your company in particular. Why should people be interested in Fireweed Zinc?
So we're a new company, so we IPO'd last year on the TSX Venture Exchange under the symbol FWZ. Also trade on the US OTC gray market, FWEDF. We have an asset called the McMillan Pass project. This is a zinc-lead silver aesthetics style system with two main deposits, Tom and Jason. We just put out a mineral resource estimate a week and a half ago. And that mineral resource estimate of 11.2 million tons indicated at 9.6% zinc equivalent. And
nice grade.
Yeah, and 39 million tons inferred at 10% zinc equivalent. You know, these two together put us in very rare category. Everyone has a different opinion of what constitutes a major or world-class zinc project. But the one that I hear most often is more than 50 million tons at greater than 7% grade. We now have that, and we're not done yet. There's a tremendous amount of expansion potential.
Okay, well, I know one way that I really like to judge projects is the great people it attracts, and I just met George out there, who I know from this business. You have some really good people coming in on this project and also on the board and stuff. Could you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, you know, the four founders of the company are myself, George Gorzinski, Richard Hadikevich, and John Robbins. You know, you've met George. George is a fantastic geologist and engineer, great success in the industry. John Robbins, who a lot of people would know because he was founder and chairman of Kaminak, which sold to Goldcorp in 2016 for $500 million. He's had tremendous success in the Yukon and the industry at large. And Richard, being one of the key founders of the company, you know, ex-senior metals trader, in fact, very senior at Goldman Sachs. And it's his enormous Rolodex and connections in the metals industry that secured us this asset and has been a real benefit for us.
Okay, so what's your longer-term plan for the company? Do you plan to build this project up, then maybe sell that to someone else, or do you actually plan to bring this into production?
I think there's two things that you have to do. First, you have to assume at all times that you're going to build it, because if you don't, the asset stalls. And then at all times, you have to entertain reasonable offers. So with that in mind, this summer's program is not going to be just about expanding the resource, but about de-risking it and moving towards pre-feasibility and then feasibility and permitting. At the same time, if someone wants to do their due diligence on us and make us a compelling offer, then of course we have to consider that.
All right. Well, let's talk about the program you have for the summer for a bit. How much are you planning to drill, and also what other milestones should we look for from your company, say, over the course of the rest of the year?
You know, we just put out that milestone of the mineral resource estimate.
That was great.
Yeah, and on the back of that, we'll have a preliminary economic assessment, the first published economic assessment on this project.
That's in March, right?
Late March, early April, I think, is about what we're expecting now. Okay. You know, that's going to really show investors that this project, it's not just about size, because if you don't have margin, there is no size that matters.
Yeah.
But we want to show that there is great margin in what we have there, and that the additional size we prove up is gravy. That is just pure economic, you know, addition. And then this summer, what we intend to do is quite a bit of drilling, probably 5 or more times than what we did last year in 2017.
What will that work out to be then?
It would be probably, I'm thinking, greater than 10,000 meters.
Okay.
You know, what we would really target is a de-risking of the central parts of the deposits. you know, categorical upgrade. And then an expansion of existing deposits, stepping out because they're open in virtually all directions. There's incredible potential to grow them. And then some greenfield exploration drilling on some new targets. And depending on, and that's sort of something for every investor. Do you want to see it de-risked? Do you want to see the easy growth? Or do you want to see the crazy blue sky, right? And we're going to kind of try to do all of them.
Okay. Well, that's about it for my questions. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I would consider, you know, it's a pretty thorough analysis of the company at first pass, and I would encourage investors to take a good look at us. We remain on a equivalent valuation basis, the cheapest zinc play, despite being what I think is the best.
Okay. Well, I would encourage you to look at this as well. I mean, this is really getting some interest in the industry for good reason, and it looks like we'll have a lot more to come, so stay tuned. Fireweed Zinc, keep them on your radar. This is a company you have to look at. This is Sean Brodrick at the Metals Investor Forum. Thanks for tuning in.